let's give this a go. This is the introductory video for Cultural Community Psychology and Global Climate Change. I am Katie Corlew. I'm the instructor for this course. I am a graduate student in Cultural Community Psychology. My research topics are in social and environmental justice, and particularly my current research is in the cultural impacts of climate change in Tuvalu, which is one of the countries that is expected to become subsumed by sea level rise over the next 50 to 100 years. In addition, I work at the East-West Center. I am a project assistant with the Pacific RISA, and what we seek to do is to make climate sciences accessible to local and regional decision makers in the Pacific and Hawaii and the U.S. affiliated Pacific Islands. So this video, basically, I'm going to be broadly reviewing the course requirements, give a kind of introduction to the course, and then I will briefly touch on what we're going to be talking about online this week. So our major course requirements are, we're going to have weekly readings and reading activities. The reading activities must be completed or turned in during the week in which they are assigned. You can do the readings ahead of time if you'd like, but we'll try to have them posted at least a week in advance. We're also going to have online discussions on these topics. Once again, these discussions have to take place during the week in which they are assigned. And we're going to have one term paper. It'll be written in sections throughout the semester and then revised again at the end of the semester. Looking over the syllabus, hopefully you have it in front of you, you may notice that there are an awful lot of readings. I'm not trying to scare you, but this is going to be mostly a self-directed course, so it will be up to you to do the readings and the activities on your own. But keep in mind as you're going through these readings that this is an advanced topics course. We're 400 level. Hopefully some of you guys are preparing for graduate school, and I kind of expect you to start reading like a graduate student, and this, you can think of this as a practice course for that. You will have so much reading to do that probably you're going to need to determine what is most important to you in the topic that you're focusing on for this course and what you want to learn. So if you read everything in detail, this course is going to take up so much of your time, but if you skim everything, then you're probably not going to get a lot out of this course. So what you're looking for is kind of a balance in which maybe you look at all of the readings, you know, pretty heavily. I do like a heavy skim for most of them, but also keep in mind that if you are looking at a reading that is going to be very important for your topic, read that one heavily, like really focus on that. And so just kind of, you know, sort through things as you go through the semester. I think you'll be fine. But the main thing is going to be to look for that balance as you're going through. We're also going to have online discussions. Your comments, you have a required amount of comments that you have to do each week. Your comments should be thoughtful. They should say something, they should add something new to the discussion. They should be long enough that they say something. One sentence or a couple of words is just not going to cut it. I won't even count that as a comment toward your quota for the week. If you're repeating what other people have already said without adding something new, that doesn't count as one of your comments. If you are only stating your case and you are never responding to what your classmates have to say, then that's also not going to count either. This is a discussion-based course. We want to learn these things together and bring our ideas and our opinions together in order to learn something new. So once again, it's all about finding that balance of responding to your classmates, adding something new to the conversation. We also have a term paper requirement for the course. The paper requirements are listed online, so please look through that assignment sheet. If you have any questions, let me know. Speaking of contacting me, I will be on Laulima every day, but I will not be on Laulima all day long. So if you have a question for me that needs to be answered pretty quickly in the next couple of hours, then you should email me directly. If you post on Laulima, I guarantee a same day or at least next day response depending on what time you post and what time I get online that day. But if you email me, I can get back to you much quicker. So if you have something that's concerning you right now, please send me an email and I will respond to you as quickly as I can. I'll also warn you if I'm going to be offline for extended periods of time. For example, if I go to a conference or travel for a weekend and don't have online access for a couple of days, I'll let you know ahead of time so that you can expect that period of silence from me. But we're in a digital age. I spend most of my life online, so it should be pretty easy to contact me. My office is over at Burns Hall, the East-West Center. It's on the corner of Dole and East-West Road. I'm in Burns Hall 2050, so you can stop by. I'm here mostly in the mornings. It's probably best if you email and set up a office hours time with me, but I will certainly make myself available to you if you have any questions or need to discuss something. So this week we have two main goals. First is introductions. We're not going to get to know each other in person because this is an online class, but we're going to be chatting online an awful lot. So it's really good to kind of get to know who the other people are. So that's going to be the first part of your assignment for the week. The second part is we want to start getting an idea about what is cultural community psychology and what does it have to do with climate change. So you'll notice that a lot of the readings for this semester don't explicitly address climate change. Some of them are about disaster, some of them are about psychology, some of them are just about other things altogether. In the cases in which it's not explicitly about psychology of climate change, it's up to us to make these connections. This is a very new field, the psychology of climate change. The APA only released a report about it last year, so we are creating this field as we go along. This course is possibly the first of its kind. It's certainly the first of its kind at this university. So it's going to be up to us to try to figure out all of these things and how we can make these connections and what other aspects of psychology or disaster management research that has been done in the past that we can apply to this field. So that kind of comes into where we're going to be having discussions, how we're going to be putting our opinions into writing, how we're going to be helping each other develop our topics, develop our ideas, develop our opinions. We're also going to be drawing a lot of research that we'll do independently to get news media and psychological research from peer-reviewed papers. Throughout the semester you'll have periodic assignments to find these things. You'll share them with the class, discuss with each other how these are important, how they kind of add into the field, and what we can make of this. So that's basically what we're going to be talking about this week. We'll have these discussions on Laulima. Please visit Laulima in order to download your course syllabus, the paper requirements, and also your weekly instructions for the week. The readings will be posted, and I will see you online. All right, thank you.